Hi, this is Manju Ramanan, and I'm with the Starcast of Bawaal who have come to Dubai. Yesterday, we had a fabulous press conference at the QE2, and then we had an Amity University event, which also created a lot of Bawaal. So tell me about Dubai, coming to Dubai, and all this hangama that you created, Bawaal you created.
Always a pleasure, Manju. Always a pleasure to be here. And UAE has been very lucky for me. Whether it's Drishyam, whether I came for October for the premiere over here, whether it's been when my IFA visits happen or the UFC trips happen. Always we get so much love over here, and I think it's a melting point, for a lot of culture and the entire Asian subcontinent, and we can reach the entire world from here. Actually, it's a hub.
It's a hub.
Okay, tell me about the teachers that have impacted your life since you play a teacher in this film.
I think especially one PT teacher of mine, I remember this very clearly, that my brother had not done very well in a subject, and my mom was very upset, and then the PT teacher told my mom that, why are you so upset? She's like, no, his marks have not come. So she said, see Mrs. Dhawan, eventually you come into this world alone and you go alone. So he has to do his best. You can't do much. And that's imprint. And I took that advice like it's for me. Because I don't know, for some reason she looked at me and said it.
Right.
Though I had passed my exams, but still. But I took that very seriously, so I think that teacher.
There was this one teacher called, two actually. There was Mr. Peter Clinton, who was my history teacher. I used to and my TOK teacher. And there was Mr. Bruce Lewis, who was my literature teacher. And I used to love those two subjects a lot, and the way that they used to teach it. I think also because they give us a lot of freedom to have our own interpretations on historical events and novels and poems and creative pieces. So they motivated us to have a viewpoint of our own, which I thought was great. And I also think that every director that I've worked with is a teacher in a way, in a big way. And yeah, I think Nitesh sir tops that list for sure.
I had this teacher called Elsie in a small town in Madhya Pradesh called Ganj Basoda, and I'm still in touch with her.
Oh, okay.
And she used to teach us maths, but I think more than maths, she taught us a very valuable lesson that it doesn't matter whether you come from small India, nothing can stop you from dreaming big.
Right.
And no wonder I'm still in touch with her. Yeah.
Okay, tell me about so events like the wars and the pandemic change our perception towards life and make us hopefully more humane and more sensitive to people. How do you see that? How do you see Bawaal in that kaleidoscope of thought?
Without delving too much into Bawaal, I mean, there are certain events and incidents in life, like you mentioned, pandemic. You know, they reset your priority buttons in life.
Right.
Post COVID, I also kind of reset myself, and to me, happiness and health are two most important things now. Nothing else matters more. If you are healthy and happy. Bawaal also deals with stuff like that. Certain experiences in life also make you pause, rethink, and reset.
Right.
And that's exactly what happens in the movie.
Varun?
I think similarly, what reset and you reprioritize your life. Family is very important. Love is very important, and what the PT teacher said, you come alone, you go alone.
I think any event that affects the entire world, however tragic it is, whether it's the pandemic or even in our film, the reference of the Second World War, I think there's a sense of unity against a common enemy. There's also a sense of humility, and I think you really see human nature in the darkest moments in history at its best. Because you feel motivated to care more about one another, and you reevaluate, like Sir said, what matters in life and what doesn't. So I think in many ways the characters in our film have a shift in the way that they view life.
And any World War II movies which has been massively documented, World War II movies that you have enjoyed.
Many. Schindler's List, Life is Beautiful, Jojo Rabbit, I've seen
Pianist.
Oh yeah, The Pianist.
Not Escape from Sobibor? It's an old
I haven't seen that.
Boy with the Striped Pajamas.
Boy in Striped Pajamas, yes.
Yes.
Same, Schindler's List and Jojo Rabbit for me.
Yeah? to you?
These two.
Okay.
Even, I mean, although it was in the Second World War, but there's this
Hmm.
Polish film called Cold War, which I think is beautiful.
Okay. How do stories from history influence you, or do they?
They do, and they should to everyone. You must learn from it. I mean, they say now you should learn from your past mistakes. So,
Hmm.
war, at least I feel, is humanity's past mistakes. So, we should learn from it and try and avoid it at any cost. Unless
Yeah.
it's extremely necessary. But trying to avoid it is because nobody can win in war. Everyone loses.
History also has this capability of serving as a lighthouse to all of us
Hmm.
about the rights and wrongs,
Right.
about the do's and don'ts.
Right.
Maybe we can take a leaf out of history and try and make our future a little better.
Right.
That's also the power of history.
I also feel like if you study history enough, you'll begin to observe patterns.
You're a history. You like history
I
as
do
a subject.
a lot, and once you begin to observe patterns, I think it helps you make predictions about your society, your future, and I think it helps you understand why you are the way you are. You need to understand your baggage. You need to understand where you come from, how your country was founded, things like that.
Right.
So, an understanding of history, I think, is imperative in understanding yourself as a person and understanding what is going to become of society.
Lovely. Varun, I was here when you'd come for Student of the Year. I interviewed you then
I
back
remember
then.
they all asking me how I know everyone, how I know. That's what I'm trying to tell. Like,
Ajju bhaiya.
Mahal, तब से बना दो.
And Jani was part of my event in Oman, which it's done. It's done. This is the last one. So I wanted to now, what do you, your fans in Dubai, what would you tell them?
Like I said, I've got so much support from you guys right from the beginning, and even yesterday when we went to Amity, received so much love, and I really know they care for me and they really look out for every film of mine, wherever it's coming, and I know the support is selfless. I work my hardest to try not to disappoint them.
And please watch our film coming on the 21st of July on Prime Video, and we hope you guys like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank,
Thank
you,
you.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. You're still reviewing now, no?
I am.
Oh, you are.